No, I'm not. I'm in WeHo off Santa Monica. Hanging out. This is my life. And that's for you. I gotta look spiffy. Just not looking spiffy enough. What's up? Living the bum life here in California. You guys see through the reflection. I'm always trying to look spiffy. Not too much excitement today. It's pretty chill. That's all. Hey, what's up? Living my best life. How's it going? I want to get a guitar again. Start playing songs again. But right now, I'm taking care of like medical stuff, so I can't do much. And I have to get my last little bit of finances together. And I'm 100% addicted to caffeine. It's the only thing that I love. And this is where I chill out. Some days. I try to break it up a little bit. I got to get my Medi-Cal card. And yeah, go see a couple of doctors. And that's it. And then I go from there. So it's really pretty chill, considering the fact that I recently got confirmation that another person was victimized by this, and it had to deal with real estate. So it was, the person was suffering from exhaustion, just like me. Whoever was tormenting, who can cause this torment through this device, I think that I don't think it's one person. I think it's that you can pass the buck. And I think that's what emboldens a lot of these people. And so somebody else who was involved in a real estate transaction, they lost everything. And they were suffering from exhaustion. And they were suffering from insomnia. And it is from their device. And it is by design. So make no mistake about that. I had 2 run-ins with people over real estate deals. They did the same thing. Okay? So this guy, he said he lost everything. His entire investment. Okay? That's what they're looking for. That's what they were looking for as far as they're using it on Bam Margera and Amanda Bynes. And it's not as bad, obviously, as a 2017/2018 operation that involved self-harm through the device. I stand by everything that I say because I lived through it. You know, I lived through it. So, and in my situation, it was also about real estate, okay, transferring up, over $100,000. So we know life is cheap, right? Life is cheap. They always say you can hire a hitman for like $5,000 and $10,000. Well, take a look at the price of real estate. You're going into $100,000 range, and if they can eliminate people, they'll eliminate people to make money. But it is a technocratic future that we have excelled into. There is no doubt. We're already here. And as far as my craft is concerned, I don't consider my craft to be I don't consider my craft to be like me being some genius, or you know what I'm saying. My ego isn't that out of control. My craft is that I pull it from the ether. I pull it from a source beyond myself, right? So it's very similar in somebody's belief in a higher power. If you have to believe in a higher power to do whatever, to get sober, or whatever it is in your life, I pull from this higher power in order to create. And I'll be doing that, for the rest of my days here. Right? It's a little cloudy today, so I'm a little... That's what 40 years of smoking cigarettes will get for you. Which I don't regret at all. What are you going to do? If I was going to turn back the clock, I'd do a hell of a lot more than not smoke cigarettes. Right? It seems weird, though. Smoking cigarettes seems like very weird to me now. Strange, very strange. Like I would never... It's so much a product of its time, and that time has gone. Yeah. Like, just as far as anything is concerned, like, I don't vape, I don't do any of that. plus this is, you can see it's got a little mood juice in there too, so that doesn't help. But I'm still on EBT. It's what I live on, and it's, well, I say it's around $9 per day, but really, I mean, you know, it's less than that. And my coffee today cost $7, so that was my budget for today. That's it. So that's why I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about anything. There was like a sense of calm that just kind of rolled over me like a fog. Once I was, you know, once I was parked, and that's it. That's where my car is. And once that happened, then I could actually think more clearly. Right? I know it seems weird, like you would think that your anxiety would go up, but mine didn't. What was causing the anxiety is this right here. This is neurological, and if they crank up the algos enough, it causes severe confusion, it causes lack of sleep, and that's when predators can come in and take everything. So and that's why when I told my wife that I was going to hire a lawyer, they came in and they crushed me, using that. And it is electrochemical because it causes your hormones to change. So they can, right? So that's what was causing me to weep. Right? So, and again, I talk about certain things on my show, but I don't think much of that is going to go into my novel that I'm writing. I talk about my novel that that's what I'm going to spend my time doing, writing my novel, going to see doctors. I'm not going to see lawyers, for sure. I could give a shit. Once you can show that you don't need money, right? Yeah, we all should be living an amazing life. Look at that. Oh my God. I love the dogs around here. They got plenty of dogs around here. They got a dog park over here. So that helps me relax. But yeah, so it's like suing somebody is your only recourse, right? Seeking legal recourse. That's the only way to go. And once you give all that up, oh well. Then it's like, who cares? Yeah. Yeah, going fishing. I'd like to go fishing. But as far as my project is concerned, it's only about the 1980s into the 90s, and then going back in time to basically, whatever, 1930. Right? That's why I stand by my writing. I stand by my songs. I know my songs are superior. I don't need smoke blown up my ass to know that. So I'm not really worried about it at all. I pretty much got these people sussed. I mean, just quote unquote running game on somebody. I find that to be pathetic. I'd like to see somebody who was going around on rooftops in New York City with a roller, putting up cash for smells. That's who I'd like to meet. I mean, that just proves right there that these gangs are fake and they work with the police department. I mean, that's what being dystopian truly is. So it's already here, right? And it's really, I talk about Mark Fisher a lot because that guy was wrapped up in that loophole of, trying to find an alternative to capitalism. And, it's like, I like some of the other things he was into, just the apathy of the youth. Right? That's why I only am interested in the music of my time. I'm not interested in appeasing somebody else or getting into music that isn't something that I know. Why would I? Like, I'm not going to do that. So... And that's why it's important, like Thomas Pynchon and writers like this, that I'm putting this music into my novel. It's really just a continuation of Two-Legged Animal. Yeah, that's right. I'm just going to do what I was put on the earth to do. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just here to tell you that. I mean, aside from like going to meetings and whatever, a couple things that I have to run around town. Beep, 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 beep. I don't need anybody involved in what I do, especially any of these former people that I used to know. I used to actually value. I used to value friendships. I used to value all that stuff. I have no interest. I'm interested in business ships. That's it. I don't trust one person, not one. This is 100% organized, and it's just really sad. It just proves that I knew this from when I was a kid. If you take a look at my book, Two-Legged Animal, the guy going around tearing up our neighborhood was a police officer's brother. There you go. And these are the recurrences that I talk about. These gangs work with police departments and they harass individuals, and these police departments work for insurance companies. They don't work for people. So once you can have this mindset where you can eliminate any notion of calling for quote-unquote help, because it's not going to come, there you go. Now you can begin looking at the world in a whole different way, right? It's kind of like the opposite of Mark Fisher. I'm talking about Mark Fisher. He was a teacher, a professor, and an intellectual. and he self-harmed right around the same era as Chester Bennington and Anthony Bourdain. This was electrochemical through this device. And I'm not saying it was an iPhone. Could have been any phone. Okay, so there's early evidence that Steve Jobs was interested in this cycles per second. Okay, so they knew eventually that they can crank this thing through the Wi-Fi. Electrochemically, they can also enhance it through a cathode ray tube. It's just a fact. So this is military grade stuff, right? So you can't expect the average schmuckola to understand these notions at all. But I don't think it's humane behavior. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a two-legged animal, right? That's all we are. I caught somebody at the. So, I don't mean to tell you. I caught somebody at Santa Fe Institute discussing, these 15-minute cities, and she was doing so by studying ant colonies. Okay, and they thrust this to the fore. They're studying an ant colony in order to better shape humanity. That makes no sense to me. And I think there's certain people out there who agree that doesn't make any sense. Why are you studying ant colonies? We're not ants. Okay? I think this is a basic, fundamental difference in thinking. And that's what I'm about. I'm not about starting a cult. Keep your money. So what we're looking for is like-minded individuals who understand that certain aspects of this society are wrong. And I'm not out to be a crusader with regard to that at all. I'm not out to be a crusader. We're just discussing ideas here, and we're forming a hypothesis, okay? Much the way I'm telling you that I'm not going to wait 40 years like I did with the death of John Lennon and the shooting of Ronald Reagan. And we can clearly see those two crimes were connected. You could see both of the people involved look exactly alike. They could have been used, right? And the Flim Flam was done right at the height of punk rock, right when I was a kid, right before I decided to destroy, right? You got to destroy your heroes, you got to burn your idols. You have to, part of the alchemical transformation is the negrito, which is the blackening, which is the very first step. It has to do with the phoenix rising. Right? So this is, this is part of life, and you would go through this at various times in your life. Right? But sometimes in society, things are going on to accelerate this process. And I think it's just shameful because Mark Fisher didn't last long enough to actually see it. Yeah, good to see you as well. Thanks for checking out my show. I appreciate it. In case you guys are watching, you can actually text and talk to me on the show. But, it's shameful that Mark Fisher, and I believe his self-harm was exacerbated through his device. It's pretty simple stuff. You deny somebody sleep. That's it. Okay? You deny somebody sleep, and then their thinking becomes irrational, and then you can target them on the ground. with on-the-ground harassment. And this is condoned through police departments who are actually working for insurance companies and not for the people. Okay, so this is a big misnomer. And when you start looking at life like that, right? Is this person an insurance risk? They're an insurance risk. Okay, we have to eradicate this person from the area. They are too big of an insurance risk. You see how this kind of like business mindset kind of eliminates this sense of humanity, right? So, anyways, those are just some thoughts that I have. I have to let you guys go. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in. I got to get my fill of caffeine and enjoy the rest of my day. Cheers.